வணக்கம். என்னுடைய பெயர் Saranya Jeyakanthan.
Good morning and welcome to the Educational Outreach Initiative of the Tamil Diaspora Community. My name is Gnanasegaran from New Jersey, United States of America. Education, Innovation and Leadership is a community outreach initiative launched via Facebook and YouTube to inspire students and parents from the Tamil Diaspora community.
And today I have the honor and the privilege to meet one of the high achieving students in the Toronto District School Board. Saranya Jeyakanthan has joined me via Skype. On behalf of the entire Tamil Diaspora community, I want to congratulate Saranya and her parents. Good morning, Saranya.
Good morning.
Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I was born in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. My parents moved here from Sri Lanka. They grew up in Karavetti. And I went to school at Victoria Park Collegiate Institute. And this year I was able to achieve a 99% average. And next year I'm planning on going into civil engineering at the University of Waterloo.
Thank you, Saranya. We have recently heard about your great achievement through newspapers and television news, and the entire Tamil community is proud of you. Please continue to work hard to make the entire Tamil community proud.
4 students have been recognized by the Toronto District School Board as the top scholars after achieving averages of at least 99%. Saranya Jeyakanthan, she has graduated recently from Victoria Park Collegiate Institute, and she is heading to the University of Waterloo to pursue her studies in the engineering field. So we hope to see you as a full-fledged engineer in a few years to come, right? And
I would like to share a short video clip in courtesy of CTV News in Toronto, Canada about Saranya's achievement.
Can you imagine a grade of 100%? One Toronto student is not just imagining it, and 3 others were just decimal points away. What's the secret to getting near perfect marks in school? These 4 grade 12 students seem to know.
I feel like we all feel like there's no one recipe to success.
Perhaps not, but they were certainly doing something right. All 4 achieved a grade 12 average of over 99% for the 2018-2019 school year. Hashmet Sahak got an average of 100%, the first time that's happened at the Toronto School Board in more than a decade.
I've never pushed for getting 100%. I've just pursued my passions, followed my interests, and got involved in the community, and the marks naturally followed.
It's not always easy. Even high school scholars struggle sometimes. What's important, these students say, is how you overcome it.
A lot of hard work, a lot of late nights, and a lot of all-nighters, to be honest.
And as for advice for other students on how to up your grade point average game,
it's all just about making sure you put in the work, making sure you did the problem sets, you studied for those tests.
Tried to do my homework as soon as I got home every day, not leave it till the last second.
Come September, they'll be heading to university. All 4 are studying engineering.
If you set goals and you work hard to achieve them, then success will follow you wherever you go.
Congratulations! Very proud of you, Saranya. Now tell me what motivated you to choose structural engineering.
I think I had a lot of influences ever since I was little. Ever since I was younger, I was always interested in architecture and buildings and bridges, things like that. Those were some of my favorite things to learn about in class ever since I was young. And then even when I went traveling, I was always really fascinated by, in Singapore, the Marina Bay structures, all those things. I was so amazed by those. And then after, when I was thinking, what do I go into for the future, right? What career? I was inspired by people one of the people I was inspired by was Avery Banq. She's the president and CEO of Bridges to Prosperity. And she graduated from civil engineering. She did her master's and all that. And then after she she took the lead of this company where they go to rural communities and they help the people there by making structures like footbridges that can help make improve the lives of the people there and help them, improve their lives.
Thank you for inspiring all other youngsters around the world. Now, and definitely, without a doubt, we wish you good luck and the best wishes for your future educational endeavors, Saranya. And now, moving forward, I would like to ask you about
the criteria under which you were chosen as one of those 4 best students in Toronto, Canada, and what are the factors that they took into consideration to choose you as one of the best of 4s other than your 99th percentile?
So actually, I didn't know that I was a TDSB top scholar until like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it was very last minute. They called me from the head office and told me, come down to the headquarters. We're going to do a press meet, and you're actually a TDSB top scholar, and because of your 99%. So I was a little bit shocked when I found out because I didn't know I was going to get that much coverage and things like that because of this thing. At the beginning of grade 12, I just wanted to go in and work as hard as I could and get the best results. So I wasn't really focused on getting a 99%. I wasn't just thinking about the grades. I was mainly thinking about learning everything I could in class and making sure that I'd mastered the material. And in the end, that had really great results.
Once again, Saranya, the entire Tamil community is very proud of your achievement, and please continue to achieve a lot in the future. And as an educator and a teacher myself, I see how important that our Tamil community, our students, should come forward to excel in education and other areas. And on the other hand, you should also make sure that you become a great role model for other students who are coming behind you. And please teach them, as we always say, do unto others as you have them do unto you. So we have the duty to give back to our community.
Now, what kind of advice would you like to give to the youngsters in Canada and around the world, then what they should do and how they should work hard in school to become top of their class? Please give them some advice.
Yeah, so my main piece of advice would be to be persistent. Don't give up. So I wasn't always I was getting like at the top of the class for most of my years, but one year I struggled a little bit. It was a couple of years back, and I was with a couple of subjects like physics especially, and I was like I didn't understand it all at that point, and I was kind of confused. I was struggling, and I would say be persistent and don't give up, because the reason why I'm here is because I didn't give up on that. If I just thought, okay, if I thought physics isn't for me or something like that, then I would have dropped it and I would have done something else. But now it's one of my favorite subjects. So if it's a little bit hard, I would say take it as a challenge and just keep trying. If you keep practicing, you keep trying, then you can do anything. You can master it, and it can become, your most skilled subject. So keep trying and be persistent.
Thank you, Saranya, for inspiring these youngsters around the world. And I'm sure that we have many like you. There are many students like you who are doing great things and make the Tamil community proud. You have joined in their group, and we are really proud. And again, you have told me that you want to pursue your higher education in engineering, and you are going to Waterloo University. Now, other than pursuing your educational career in the engineering field, what would you like to do? Your ambitions and your goals?
I actually have a lot of plans. I want to do a lot of different things in life. It's not just one thing that I want to do. I want to, one was the helping in rural communities and, those people who really need our help. I want to go out to those places and help design infrastructure that's sustainable and will hold up against natural disasters and things like that. So that's one. I also want to work in different sectors. I want to work in, with the government. I want to work with private companies. I want to try working with as many different settings as possible to see how each place and each type of company, how they do their design work, how they solve problems, and I want to learn from all these different experiences and places. So yeah, my goal is to just learn as much as I can in the future, even past university. I want to keep learning in the workplace, and yeah, that's my ultimate goal for the rest of my life.
Now, you have done great things in the classroom and you got your highest average 99%. Now, let's talk about your extracurricular activities. Do you want to tell me what extracurricular activities that you were engaged with, and how did you feel that work is benefiting the community or yourself?
So I did quite a few, especially in my last year, I did Science Olympics. In Science Olympics, we got to build a Rube Goldberg machine.
Explain what it's that.
Okay, so it's a little bit tough to explain sometimes. So, in those like crazy cartoons you see or videos, you'll see like a setup where one action will cause another reaction and then another reaction, like dominoes hit something else and then something else, a ball rolls down a ramp and then something else happens. So it's like that. It's a series of energy transformations. So we had to build one of those, and I got to lead a team of other, high school students, and draw up the plan, figure out how we're gonna bring all these little parts together, and then we got to compete against other schools at it was a London district Science Olympics, so we got to compete against other schools in our province. So I was really proud of that. And then I was an executive member for Free the Children. So it's a part of the
What is that?
Free the Children. It's a part of the We charity, and
Right.
so I was in charge of publicity. So I led my group, like the sub team. We would run campaigns to promote these fundraisers that to raise money for children in third world countries. And I was really proud of the work we did because I knew we were making a difference in people's lives. And we had a lot of different fundraisers. We collected like over 500 non-perishable food items for a local food bank, and we did a lot of different things like that. I also do a lot of tutoring, so I tutor within my community, and then I also tutor at school. I tutor any subject, usually French, math, things like that, and those are the things I did in grade 12. I did a few other extracurriculars before that as well.
Thank you, sir. Saranya, I am really impressed by your community involvement and the work you do to the community, and this is what I expect the students to do. They should not only study at schools, they should also go above and beyond and to do some community work. Now, I also want to advise the high school students that if you are looking for prestigious colleges and universities anywhere in the world, they are definitely looking into your high school career. They do not want your educational qualification alone. They want to know your leadership skills, how much involvement in the community you have. So please continue to excel in those areas. Now, let's talk about your social life as a student and as a daughter to your parents in Canada. I know you are a second generation and you live with the parents who are the first generation. What kind of challenges do you face with your parents? Explain to us so that the other youngsters can understand how you manage with your parents while you are living in Canada.
So my parents were really supportive of me, and I think there can be problems when there's a lack of communication. But luckily, for me, they were really supportive and they were understanding. So whenever I had an issue, or even in school or outside of school, I would just tell them. And I would tell them when I got home, and they were understanding. So I think it's just important to tell your parents what's happening in your life. And I would just encourage other people to do the same because they're your parents and they just want the best for you. They want you to be happy. So yeah, talk to your parents and communicate with them.
Let me ask something about Sri Lanka. I'm sure you heard about how we struggled in Sri Lanka, and then the civil war, and then I'm sure you should have a little knowledge, if not a deep knowledge. Do you have any intention of helping the needy ones in Sri Lanka, and if you have any plans?
So I did talk about helping, in communities where the infrastructure isn't as developed as, cities like Toronto. Toronto, we're lucky to live in a city with so many resources, and, not everyone is as fortunate. So I think, part of what I plan on doing, helping with infrastructure, would go, hand in hand with that. And I think, in the future, yeah, I think it would be a great idea, to help in places that might need a little bit more of modern infrastructure, but they might not just have the funding, things like that. So I think helping with that would be a great idea.
Have you been to Sri Lanka after you
Yeah.
came? How many times?
I believe 3 times. I went once when I was just like a baby, 1 years old, once when I was in kindergarten, and then my last time was just a couple of years ago.
Right, great. So thank you, Saranya, and I'm sure when you grow up and you will know more about Sri Lanka and the people who live there. They really need some help, and your parents grew up in Sri Lanka. Where and when possible to reach out to them while you are in Canada or in Sri Lanka, you should always think about them and give them whatever we can. Yeah, that's what I always think, and we should always give back to the community where we come from. And with that said, I want to congratulate you. Please know that we are so proud of you, and there is a lot more to do, a lot more to come in the future. And I really want to wish you and your parents and your family members and diaspora community is very proud of students like you.
At this time, I also want to ask you what to think about the Tamil community in total, and we should help each other so that it becomes a versatile community on the world stage. Without a doubt, you will definitely grow to become one of the proudest product of the Tamil community, Saranya, and the entire Tamil diaspora community will be behind you and wishing you all the way up until you complete your studies. Do you want to talk about your honors or any achievement that you got during your high school or before?
Yeah, so recently I also got the Governor General's Award. It's a medal. That's the Governor General for Canada. Her name is Julie Payette. She's the representative of the Queen. So I got this award for getting such high marks in my high school. And it means a lot to me because Julie Payette, the Governor General of Canada, was also a woman who did engineering. She did electrical engineering, and then she became an astronaut. So I think she's a really amazing person, and then she became Governor General, right? So yeah, I thought that was really inspiring.
Now tell us, how do you benefit from the educational outreach initiative of this nature that we are running now, Education, Innovation and Leadership and Community Service?
I think it's a great idea. It's a really inspiring thing for people, for younger kids in the Tamil community, so for them to have people to look up to who are, positive role models. So it's a really good idea.
Toronto School Board has honored you now. That is not going to stop there, right? You promised me, right?
Okay.
A lot more thing is going to happen. This is just a beginning, and I know we are going to hear from you, and you have a great responsibility in your shoulders that you have to do more and more, right? The sky is not the limit, the sky is the beginning. So with that said, and we want to wish you and thank you for your time on behalf of Education, Innovation and Leadership Initiative, and we wish you good luck.
Nandri Vanakkam.